A lot of time, there's a lot of men and women that put themselves in jeopardy for maintenance. My car's in the shop right now because I was behind a truck on Interstate 20, what we call them alligators. These the retreads that come off, came right up under, busted out my exhaust system. And you've got to be careful because you can't move. I'm sure this has happened to you, but we have a lot of men and women that are out there. And just because you take make safety improvements, that's not going to stop everything with the type of traffic increase that we have. $53 million to enhance our rail transportation. Rail, we have got to figure out a way to move some of the trucks off of off our roads, the interstates and our Texas trunk system, and find a way to put them on rail so we can free up the roads. $2.4 billion, as the senator showed, that $23 billion debt. $2.4 billion goes to repay principal and interest. We have a few extra items that we've requested. That includes $2 billion, which would be $1 billion a year for the energy sector. It's easy to complain, where's this money going to go? Why do they need that? Well, the heavy trucks, I'm sure many of you have been around them or behind them or beside them here in East Texas, had your windshield cracked or had found potholes. It's very important to the economy. It's our responsibility to go back in and help fix that. And we want to do our part, but we just can't get to all of the roads quick enough, especially when you go out to West Texas and South Texas. $2 billion for new unfunded maintenance contracts. Projects to continue to add additional maintenance because, as the senator shared, we have an old system. You know, the farm to market road that was put in with no shoulders, and it went from county seat to county seat. Those desperately need improvements as well. $6 billion, which would be $3 billion a year, for new capacity. We have a couple other things. The veteran discount program. Emerging technology for a few things, your cars reading sensors to be able to read some of these things. We see these as safety. How many of you ever, going into Dallas or around, have found a bridge that's been knocked down? You had to take a detour. Well, we're trying to work on and tackle some of those issues to improve that. Gulf Intercoastal Waterway, $60 million. That's our marine highway. You can begin to look and see the vast needs because we are not just a highway department, we are multimodal. We are a transportation department, and this is one area that we've got to continue to look to fund multiple modes and find different modes. This is what leads me to Proposition 1. This is your choice. It is our choice as Texans. And I appreciate the legislature, one, for having the guts to stand up and recognize the need and put it forth to us as the voters to potentially approve this. I hope it is approved because we've begun working on a list of what type of projects could be based on formula coming in with input from each of the regions, the Longview NPO, Planning Council, listening to you. Our opportunities far exceed our resources. I'll say it again. Our opportunities to add capacity, fix, repair, far exceed the amount of revenue that we have. What Proposition 1 will do for TxDOT is begin, and I'll stress begin, to find a safe, reliable, consistent source of funding. It's not the answer. It's not the total answer. That may be about 20%. And I think this is part of our challenge right now is to, let's work on November and begin to work on that. TxDOT is about to be 100 years old in just a couple years. And when this was started, those who had the foresight to begin to look at, we need someone to help coordinate the road system in the state. It's changed a lot. The uses of the road, how it's used, where we go, how we travel, etc. We have to preserve what made Texas, Texas, what's bringing people here, what's keeping them here, because I know, just like customers in the bank or customers in your business, somebody's knocking on your door saying, come someplace else. I get defensive when that happens. I want everybody to come to Texas, but we've got to have enough space for them to live here, but more importantly, to move around safely and have capacity. This is going to be an important historic election. I know there's going to be a lot of discussion about how this happens. And where the money goes, there's not enough. And I look forward to having this discussion, listening to each and every one of you. I know as we look at our budget of how we're going to spend, and we actually are asking to use that, include that in our budget if it passes, because we have to go back and amend our budget. So we have an item on there that is a request for about $1.7 billion, Senator, hopefully that you'll be able to approve for us this next year. And we look forward to, if it passes in November, to spending, being able to allocate this and get it out the door quickly, because again, keep in mind that construction cost index, every month or year that we wait, it's going to go up faster. With that, I know you probably have a lot of questions. It's an honor to be here, and we're just going to pass this off with the